Namaskar and welcome to another episode of Dil Se Dil Tak with Pradeep. Today we are once again here with a guest, Sri Pradeep Biswalji, who will be talking on a very different subject. And I believe that this subject is directly related to Odisha and its economy. A very important subject we'll talk. Before that, I'd like to talk just a few lines about me, because last time there some audience, they asked me, sir, you're not talking about you, we don't know much about you. Let me once again introduce myself. My name is Pradeep Pramanik. I'm Director of Fast Track Career Consultant. This is as a profession, and at the same time I'm an author. I'm a TV panelist. I have been writing for various newspapers, journals and all. I'm a Rediff Guru on Rediff.com also. In the meanwhile, I have turned to be a podcaster, taking important issues which are relevant to the society. I was talking about today's guest is none other than Mr. Pradeep Biswal, IS officer, retired, and I found him genuinely concerned about Odisha and Odisha's development. During the last discussion, we found that Odisha has got tremendous potential in the tourism and travel and hospitality industry. Unfortunately, our government has not been able to promote Odisha as a major destination. In fact, always it is talked about India's best kept secret, Odisha. But we want that this particular thing should also change now. With a change scenario, we want Odisha to come forward, adopt a new vista and welcome the international guest to Odisha and ensure that each guest who comes here goes with a positive mindset. So today we will be talking about, but before that I'll once again request Mr. Pradeep Biswalji to speak a few lines about him.
Namaste. I'm Pradeep Biswal, a retired IS officer. I've worked in Odisha in different capacities in the government of Odisha for about 30 years. Now I am fully engaged in literature and social work. A topic like tourism is very close to my heart, because Odisha believed in the philosophy, the maxim, Atithi Devo Bhava. The guests, they are like gods for us. So we always invite tourists to our land, a land full of opportunities. Now government of Odisha, they have now a new tourism policy. The tagline has now changed to Think India, Think Odisha. It means whenever you think of India, you think of Odisha. Odisha is the best tourist destination in India. I think it will attract tourists from across the globe.
So by the way, with the new tagline which you said, interestingly, I as a common person, I'm not very convinced about this, because when we want to highlight Odisha as a separate independent identity for the tourists, where it offers religious tourism, health tourism, ecotourism, and a lot of destinations which are unexplored for domestic as well as international travelers. So talking about Think India, Think Odisha, I'm not very convinced.
Earlier it was best kept secret. Odisha is best kept secret. I think that was much better than this.
Okay.
But in a double engine government setup, we always think of India first, then Odisha next.
No, but I believe that Odisha deserves to be identified with its own vast cultural, religious background, which none other state offers. What kind of diversities we can offer to our international travelers?
one thing I must say that the present government, they are more focusing on tourism as a avenue for economic growth. Okay, tourism has huge potential in Odisha for economic growth to contribute to our GDP. Now we have a deputy chief minister in charge of tourism for the first time. Madam Prabhat Peda is the minister in charge of tourism. That shows how much importance the state government is giving to tourism sector. Second, we have a very young, dynamic IS officer. Now he is posted as Director of Tourism, and MD OTDC, Mr. Dipankar Mahapatra. I think there is a positive change in the government system to leverage more resources and to focus the unexplored tourist destinations across the state. In the new tourism policy, they have now encouraged ecotourism. They are now encouraging, they are also encouraging this homestay policy. So foreign tourists, they will be more interested to stay in the natural ambience of a family, Odia family. They will stay there. So that is again a new concept being popularized in the state. A lot of things are moving.
By the way, I will be concerned more from the economic point of view, employment point of view.
Yeah.
Government policies are there, but how far these policies are actually brought to the ground and executed in what you call true sense, that has to be seen. But now, first question, Mali, I believe that you are having, as you said, that tourism and travel and hospitality, this sector is close to your heart. So I believe that you will be in a better position to reply to this question. This particular says that Odisha is very rich in its cultural, then your what you call flora and fauna, then beaches, its wonderful travel areas, the hills, religious, world famous religious activities like Rath Yatra,
Yeah.
Konark Dance Festival, Puri Dance Festivals, all these are there. Apart from that, Odisha also offer wonderful cuisines for its domestic and international
Yes,
travelers, which have not been experienced by us. So what could be the reason why these are not being promoted the way it should have been done?
So we have to have a policy outlook in long term and short term. In long term, you have to have a branding of our products. That is very essential. Nowadays, if you don't have a tag, you don't have a brand or a particular product, you cannot market it in the world market. Okay. So branding Odisha cuisine, Odisha handloom, Odisha textiles is a must. Alright. Even your festivals, you have to brand it. Alright. So that is one thing. In the long term vision, you have to do these things. In the short term, you have to see how you can invite more tourists from across the world and how to increase your tourist footfall in the state. For that, you have to promote Odisha as a brand also from outside, from the outside. What I have seen now, our budget is hardly 1,000 crore, but it was earlier, it was very negligible. Now it has come to 1,000 crore. I was analyzing how much they are spending for tourist promotion. I found that there are some schemes which have been put in the basket of tourism department, like Varishtha Nagarika Tirthayatra Yojana, senior citizens tourist, the
SJDY,
yeah,
Sri Jagannath Darshan Yojana.
Sri Jagannath Darshan Yojana. That means you take senior citizens from to different tourist destinations across India, to Odisha, to some other place like that. Yeah, a huge amount is being spent on that.
Correct.
Again, senior citizens from different parts of the state, they are brought to Puri, Lord Jagannath Darshan. A lot of money is spent for that. Again, what happens? They are organizing so many festivals. Konak festival like that, Rajarani festival, the Sand Art festival like that. But practically, we do not get sufficient number of tourists for these festivals.
Must be, Pradeep Sahab, you rightly said about there are many schemes where only local people could support the Raja Rani festival.
Yeah.
How many international travelers are attending this? Similarly, maybe Konark festival.
Some few.
So I believe that we must have to look into from different perspective.
Yes.
How we can promote Odisha's travel destinations in a better way, so that international travelers and the domestic travelers could come, stay and enjoy. Right. Now you said about there has been what you call wrong schemes which are to be looked into, and maybe it is, if it is not promoting tourism, it can be scrapped also. Now the very
schemes, government welfare state, they can put these schemes in Panchayat department or WCD department like that, not necessarily in tourism department.
Very nice, absolute. It's a very valid point you said about this should not be under the tourism department. Right. Now another very important point which during the course of discussion I came to know from you, you're talking about the facilities, especially lodging and fooding facilities for the travelers. Those coming from different places, they have different tastes, they have different likings. And you mentioned that there are hardly for 2,500 registered hotels under tourism department, which you say is not good enough. Right. And similarly, the total number of rooms offered in the total state is 50,000, where during Rath Yatra itself or something, this must be very less, I believe. So what could be the reason, or what could be the efforts to increase, maybe some PPP mode?
I know from my own experience, in the winter season, you will find very difficult to get a room in Bhubaneswar, Puri like that. Okay, because a lot of conferences are going on in Odisha. Alright, a lot of tourists, they come in winter to Odisha, because the winter is the best season to visit Odisha. Right. In December, January like that, it is very difficult to get accommodation in Puri, Bhubaneswar. Okay. Because we have dearth of hotel rooms. We have dearth of star hotels in around Bhubaneswar. Not only Bhubaneswar. You see, for some big chains of hotels, they come to Odisha. Nowadays they have come. But they concentrate in Puri, Bhubaneswar and Gopalpur maximum. You see now Devamali, after some few films, Hindi films have been shot, in the shooting has been done in Koraput, Devamali has become a hotspot. But in Devamali you won't find any hotel, in Star Hotel, even common hotels are not.
I believe many Orias also may not be aware about Devamali and what it offers.
Yes. So like that, Chandipur beach, it's a very nice beach, but how many hotels are there? Star hotels are there, not there. So state government should try to bring star hotels, if not 5-star, 3-star hotels at least, to such locations. Now Debrigad, you see in Samalpur, it has now emerged as a very good tourist spot, but we don't have hotels around Debrigad.
I believe Debrigad you're talking about, Indian Canyon, right?
Yes.
And it offers almost not exactly like US, but it is also significantly very impressive, very what you call different than other tourist spots. Where people near this Hirakud Dam. And it can have a water sports facility also there. A lot of things can be done, but it is not properly utilized. Okay, the potential is not utilized fully. So this again, this Buddhist circuit,
Ratnagiri,
Yes, yes.
Lalitagiri, Udayagiri, Buddhist circuit. That is, I have seen Bodh Gaya, I have seen Nalanda, I have seen Sarnath, and this Lalitagiri, Ratnagiri, Udayagiri is absolutely fantastic from that point of view. And recently, one more thing has been added to it. The second Buddha, Padmasambhav, is called second Buddha, next to Buddha. Padmasambhav, now historians say that Padmasambhav was born in Sambal, which is identified with Sambalpur, near Sambalpur, in western Odisha. And he had gone to Tibet. The Tibetan Buddhism, actually he had spread Padmasambhav, and his final days were spent in this Ratnagiri, Lalitagiri, Udayagiri area, and he died there. Okay. And so this area can be developed in a very good tourist circuit, but unfortunately that is not happening. Now Japanese tourists, Chinese tourists, they are coming there, and every year they are holding a large congregation of Buddhists in that area. Okay, the state government should come forward and have some sort of arrangements with them, so that more Buddhist tourists should come. And another thing I have seen, Sri Lanka Buddhism. In Sri Lanka, in Kandy, they have Kandy city, they have the tooth relic of Buddha. And interestingly, you will find in Kandy, very prominently it is written, this tooth relic was donated by Prince of Kalinga to King of Sri Lanka.
Wow.
Okay, you will find this mentioned there. And the Sri Lankan people, they are very fond of Kalinga. Unfortunately, they do not know the present Odisha is Kalinga. That is the difference.
What a paradox.
Okay. And I had suggested, once I had suggested the then tourism minister, that you bring out one advertisement in calling this Sri Lanka newspaper, Kalinga calling. You put Ratnagiri, Lalitagiri, Udayagiri here, Kandy there. Alright. This connection you have to establish. And for your information, every year about 7 lakh to 8 lakh Buddhist tourists come to India from Sri Lanka alone. If we can attract 1/3 of that, 2 lakhs, then what will happen? Our total footfall of foreign tourists in Odisha is around 1 lakh. So it will jump to 3 lakhs instantly. So we are not exploring that. Another thing I am telling you, these Southeast Asian countries, they had earlier trade links with Odisha. Odisha mariners, they used to go there, and some of them had settled there. I have been to Philippines. Could you imagine? There is one province called Kalinga in Philippines.
Okay.
And then when I searched in net, I found there are 7 places in the name of Kalinga in Southeast Asian countries. It is so famous. Many people, they say that we are inhabitants of that Kalinga. So we have to establish our relationship with those Southeast Asian countries. We must concentrate. We will get large chunk of tourists every year. But unfortunately, we are going to Germany, to France, to Spain, or some Western countries
But
to attract tourists. So wrong priorities for us.
Okay. Pradeep sir, you have mentioned 2 very important points in a stretch. I will slightly add a few points in support of what you're talking about. You said about Sri Lanka, I'll talk about Thailand and other 1 or 2 small countries which are smaller than Odisha. You know, the international tourists, especially in Thailand, in Sri Lanka, or maybe what you call Vietnam, it's really too much.
Yes.
Even Bhutan, like a small country, is able to attract good number of international travelers.
Yes.
We are not able to cater those things.
Yes.
Firstly. Secondly, you said about facilities. star hotels and all. Apart from that, there are other reasons also. We are not able to ensure justice to the travelers to Odisha. I will come back to this point. I will add one very interesting point when you are talking about a Buddhist circuit, a Buddha circuit, which I believe that our neighbor Bihar has successfully done it.
Yes.
I was recently in Bodh Gaya. I was surprised to see the number of travelers, especially from Asian countries, all monks or the disciples of Lord Buddha. They are staying for months together doing research work.
Yes.
People from China, Thailand, Japan, Vietnam, all these places, wherever Buddhism is there, the people have got their own big temples, their trusts, their societies, and the beauty of that, people are absolutely enjoying their stay. They don't have any fear.
Yes.
Bihar, on the other hand, is known for some kind of for wrong reasons, but in Bodh Gaya is a different Bihar altogether.
Yes.
People even in the late night, they don't have.
So you have to learn that. You have to learn how to treat the tourists.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So
They should feel at home.
You're talking about only Puri, Bhubaneswar, Konar, Gopalpur. Now these, and earlier it was called Triangle, Golden Triangle. But when there are other sites, I will just come back to it and know your opinion. What makes Odisha government not to develop certain very important sites, keeping international and domestic travelers in mind? See, having one room, two room, or guest house is not sufficient. I'll talk about and even indoors. As Kerala offers God's, they have a tagline of God's own country. Odisha, you said about not just think Odisha, India, think Odisha, rather Kalinga calling you talked about, this should be promoted. I believe that you know very well about the places called Simli, Pal, Bhitarkanika, Gahir Mata. You just mentioned about Devmali. You have, when you are talking about Koraput, then how can
Tribal tourism.
Bonda Hills, Bonda tribals,
Yes.
So
Huge potential, huge
potentials are there, and unfortunately, there is no such facilities even for the local people to go and enjoy.
You see, to promote tourism, there are certain basic things. You must have good roads to those tourist destinations, which we have neglected. We should have air connectivity. Fortunately, earlier Bhubaneswar airport was there, now Jharsuguda airport has become a full-fledged airport. Now we are developing this Udan scheme, under the Udan scheme of Government of India. We are developing Jaipur, Utkela, some other places for small aircrafts around Kerala, like that. Now Puri is coming up as an international airport. In the near future it may come up. So air connectivity is a must to attract international tourists. Alright, that we have to focus. Then tourist amenities in the tourist places, in tourist destinations. If you don't have a coffee shop, you don't have a toilet, proper toilets, if you do not have hotel facilities, rooms, accommodations, so why tourists will go there? So, and again, tourist guides. We do not have sufficient tourist guides, professional tourist guides in the tourist places. So the tourists, they do not know what is to be seen. So we have to also develop tourist guides, not only in Cuttack, Puri, Bhubaneswar. Mostly Puri and Bhubaneswar you will find some guides. If you go to Koraput, you don't get it. So in those local areas, young people, they should be trained as guides.
Absolutely. Very valid point you said about. You have mentioned about the government's scheme that's called Atithi Deva Bhava, right? I have many guests, those who have come from different
outside,
places from India, my known people. They wanted to visit Lord Jagannath, Puri,
Yes, yes.
other places, but their experiences, the way they were treated by the taxi drivers, by the local people, by the pandas, and even the hotel people, you know.
Yes.
There is no exploitation of that.
Misbehavior and exploitation.
And despite complaining to the police also, the response of police had not been very, very supportive. To the,
Yeah.
So how do you see this? Will this, what do you call, there should be some kind of efforts to ensure, will this kind of complaint
I
be-
think the state government should have a dedicated telephone line for that, to complain large complaints. The local police, they should have some dedicated phone lines and dedicated officers also, the district tourist officers. In each district there is a district tourist officer. In the tourist kiosks, in the railway station, in the airport, like that, it should be permanently displayed. Who is the contact person, whom we will contact. So the nodal officer should be there. So for any inconvenience faced by any tourist, he can lodge a complaint or he can contact the nodal officer that sir, you see, I am facing this problem. So, and it should be immediately addressed.
Pradeep sir, I was just thinking in a different line. This you're talking about corrective measures when some issues do happen. I'm talking about the way we are entertaining our guests.
Yes.
Unlike other countries, you know, guests are treated and supported, guided, encouraged. They are not exploited, they are not cheated. So why people say,
So this mindset, you have to change the mindset. Actually, 2 years back I had been to Malaysia, okay, with my family. And for 1 week we stayed there in Malaysia. We visited many places. Not on a single occasion we faced any awkward situation. The taxi driver took us to all destinations and he acted as a guide for us.
guide us?
Okay. And he was so nice to us.
So why we can't change our people,
Yeah.
those who are having interface with the guests, especially when we're talking about guide. I'm concerned about the clarity in tariffs, especially hotel charges, food charges,
Yeah.
taxi charges, auto fares, anything. Absolutely.
See, actually we should give concessions to foreign tourists. Alright. In Malaysia, I stayed in a hotel, a star hotel. I was staying on the 32nd floor in the hotel. Okay. And you want to imagine a double bedded room, it was only 2,500.
Indian rupees.
Yes, Indian rupees.
Just imagine. So do you feel these kind of exploitation also stop tourists to visit again?
Yes. So
Repeat visit is agar
like that. And your total system, how it works in Sri Lanka. When I was in Sri Lanka, when it was a big hotel, 70 floor hotel. I was also staying in 30th floor or something like that. And you want to imagine, it was so homely. And in Sri Lanka, in road you won't find a single piece of paper on the road. So neat and clean. And people are so affectionate. People are so receptive. So that shows you are welcome to that country. But here the situation is really different. And our people always try to exploit the tourists.
Let's just add a very small story, getting clue from what you have said. There is to be some person who got a hen. The person was gifted the hen by saying, don't kill, it will give one golden egg every day.
Yeah.
And the greed of the person, virtually, he said, why to wait every day and get only one, let's kill it and get all these eggs.
It is like that. Yeah.
So when tourists come, one satisfied tourist will save you hundreds of
Yeah, you are right, you are right.
One dissatisfied customer,
Yes.
a tourist, will stop saying given 10 to you. So that's something. Now compare with other states
Yes,
in India itself.
yes.
The states like Rajasthan, you have seen that Kerala, then UP's part, like Agra,
Even recently I have been to Gujarat also. Gujarat
yes.
people are very good.
And especially the remote areas where Odisha has got tremendous potential.
Yes.
Like there what you call tribals are involved in the dances, where you can stay with them, enjoy their food, stay and comfortably at less cost. You will go back with a beautiful experience and memories.
Yes.
Right. So now,
Even we have to train our taxi drivers,
yes,
our hotel people, okay, and the people around the temples, those who facilitate.
sir. Now we are running short of time. I believe that what I have got from you are really quite valuable, and I believe that this message should also go to the people, those who are involved in policy making, those who are there in changing the system. They should also think in a different perspective, considering visitors as the most potential, because if Thailand can survive, Sri Lanka can survive, and other small countries can survive only one industry, like Mauritius, in Maldives, what they have got? Only coastal line.
Yeah, Sri Lanka, the entire Sri Lanka economy depends on tourism alone. They have no industry, nothing.
So Odisha has got 480 kilometers of beaches,
Yes.
hundreds of different tribals, hundreds of other places, like you said about, which many of us we are not aware, but these are unexplored,
Yes.
unpromoted properly. I wish that in coming days, Government of Odisha takes clue from it. The departments and institutes like IITTM comes forward and ensure that people, those who are involved, entertaining people, are well groomed, trained,
Yes.
made sure that they don't mistreat even a single.
Yeah.
Let tourists be wrong. Don't try to snatch their
The
camera. mobile.
hospitality industry can thrive, can grow, and also contribute to our economy in a great way, provided we rise to the occasion.
Good. And I'm finally the last line. If I'm not wrong, you were mentioning about only some few thousands people are right now depending on tourism. I can say, after having listened to you and the suggestions which you have given, I believe that tourism industry, hospitality industry, travel industry itself can give more than 50,000, 60,000 employments
Yes.
to our people.
Sure.
With this note, I like to once again thank you, Pradeep Sahab, for your insightful discussion, and I am really obliged for your time, valuable time which you have given, and you are genuinely concerned about Odisha's economy and consider travel industry as one of the key industries which can support Odisha. Thank you so much.